Last night, I did something that I'm not particularly proud of, and it's something that I really need to get off my chest. And I hope this doesn't reflect poorly on me as a person, as a father, as a chess player, but I'm going to be entirely honest. Late last night, way past the kids' bedtime, I was sat down here after midnight playing a session of Blitz. And this is not something that I would normally do. This is not the kind of person that I am. But I've been losing points for over a week, and it was about time to get some of them back. And something happened on this journey, this incredibly blurry journey now. I was very tired. I can't remember everything that happened. But I do remember that I was paired against Kamran Shirazi, and I remember that this international master played a gambit that's so crazy and so wild that I couldn't help but keep thinking about it. And I have to be entirely honest, this is not the kind of gambit that I would normally show, because this is just wild, crazy, it's just outlandish. It's the most outrageous gambit I've ever seen, and I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not putting this out there because I want people to play it. And I know when you make a YouTube video on an opening, generally what that means is like, here's my recommendation, I think you should play it. No, don't get it twisted. You will lose. If you play this opening, you can expect to lose all your games, but I have to get this off my chest because I was playing an international master. He played e4, I played e5, he plays bishop to c4, and after knight to f6, boom, he just takes on f7. Like, what the heck is this? And this is what we're going to be talking about today. It's this absolutely wild, outlandish opening. You can see computer saying it's minus 3.7, and obviously there's ideas in chess of taking on f7, but you don't do it on move 3. There's no follow-up. I take it back, and I'm feeling great. And that is actually how I'm feeling during the game, and I kind of want to dive deeper into kind of the psychology behind gambits rather than actually focus on any theory behind this one. Like, the theory doesn't really matter. You're getting a losing position as white. And to be honest, at this point, I actually feel really good because I know there's like people that do crazy stuff, and maybe you're sacrificing on f7 because, I don't know, maybe you're doing like a speed run and you're like, beat people down a piece speed run. Can I get to 2600 or something? I don't know, but here I feel good. But then something happens here. He bangs down the move, pawn to d4, and this hits a little bit different because now you can see what the computer says. It's minus 4.8. This is stupid garbage, obviously, but d4 is a move you play if you got some sort of prep, and you bang down d4, all of a sudden there's this dread, and it's like, uh-oh, this guy actually knows something. He's got a trick up his sleeve. He knows the traps. He knows what it is, and then maybe there's like some weird, you don't know if you're facing this as a defense for like the first time. You're like, is there some weird, I have to do like some strange queen maneuver and put my king in like a ridiculous spot in order to like win, or like, can I just play solid and win? You don't know. And I thought for this game that I would just play solid and I'd play pawn to d6, and we're going to explore some other lines in the future, but this was just my first thought, is I will go here. And I actually thought when I made this move that I was quite clever, because I figured when he took back on e5, I would be able to play d takes e5, which you can see is actually the second most common move. But instead, I played knight takes e4, facing this for the first time, which you can see accounts for another 38% of the games. So almost 70 to 80% of the games will follow one of these two moves. But it turns out this actually is a little bit of a trap. Both of these common moves are very bad. And all of a sudden, black actually is facing a little bit of danger. And I thought I could go here, even though it's hanging the queens, for a reason that I guess we'll explore in the future. But the main point was that you have bishop here and you're winning back the queen, but that's not the end of the story. And I kind of realized that in this moment, and instead played knight takes e4. But this is just simply a very bad move because he plays queen to d5, and I go, oh god, I fell for it. Like, this is dumb. And all of a sudden it's basically over now, because at some point, if the opponent was just -5 and now it's +1, like, emotionally, it's like kind of over. He just like won the game, and that's exactly what happened. Obviously, I fought on for a while, but I was never able to do anything, and okay, I got forked again, and all right, I gave up and I resigned. So, okay, that hurt. That hit a little bit hard, and then we played another game. He beat me again, but then we played again. This was our second game with this gambit, and I thought there's no way he would do it a second time. But he did, and we're playing the second game. He goes here, and now after d4, I'm going, okay, d6. That one didn't really work. It's time to workshop this one. And I play pawn takes d4, and this is like the main alternative here available to black. And obviously I didn't play it the first time because there's e5, and you got to figure this out. But okay, I play queen to e7. I'm attacking your pawn, and he plays queen to e2, and this kind of feels like some sort of like Scotch position. This is the kind of thing that you would do, but now something very unfortunate for him happened. I played knight to d5, which is the most popular move, but again is probably not the best move because you're actually not really making any progress here with black. But then unfortunately, he mouse slipped and played queen to e3, denying me an opportunity to learn a little bit more about this gambit, because after I took here, he resigned the game, and this is the end of this variation. Now, obviously, he had intended on putting his queen on f3, which would have been a better move. You're attacking the knights, you're giving this check, and really black has nothing better than to just simply go back, after which white can continue to repeat. And maybe we would have got here and we would have got to some sort of waiting game where either I decide to keep playing, I can play like knight to e8, or who knows, if I just kept trying to repeat and he's higher rated, is he going to do something wacky and try to beat me? Who knows what would have happened? We'll get you some more updates if I ever get to play Kamran again, but I thought that was kind of interesting. And, and then I left this match and I can keep playing other people, he left and everything. And almost immediately, I get to play another game, and I'm going up against somebody, and I thought, you know what? I don't know any of the theory, because you don't need to know any of the theory. I'm going to be playing some other guy that's around my level. What if I do this? I just want to see, what are other people doing? How are other people going to handle this? And what happened here is that it just worked. The dumb gambit just worked. I played pawn to d4, and my opponent played d6. This is exactly how I handled it when I had to see this for the first time. And now after I took back, he decided to play here, which is the line that I kind of thought I could do, but actually is not particularly good for black, because now white is actually gets the better position. After you take this, black's main point is that there's bishop to b4 check, and this is how you're going to win the bishop back. But after you bring the queen back and you get pinned, and this is kind of a normal tactic that happens in these kinds of openings, you take back, and I take back with a knight, and uh-oh, look at that. I'm actually just up a pawn, and I have a completely good position. So I don't know, this dumb gambit just kind of works, and I played a reasonably clean game. The opponent got a little bit of pressure, but it was never like too much, and I was able to just be a pawn up and win the game. So I don't know. It's just kind of a silly, outlandish gambit, and I'm not saying you should play it. I'm not saying you should play it. I actually don't know what the point of this video is. I don't know. Maybe the point is that the opening doesn't matter. You do like whatever. Take on f7. Who really cares? And you know what? Maybe nothing matters at all, and maybe that's a little bit scary, but maybe at the same time that's a little bit freeing, and maybe you should talk to your mom because it's been a while. Okay, bye.
If you're feeling trapped like a queen, no blunders, only sacrifice and see. Well, you may have the blues. Never be a chicken when you lose.